Hi folks, welcome back to Steve Jobs. Today we'll be replacing the spark plugs and the spark plug wires on my parents' 2010 Grand Caravan. So let's get started. So to keep things straight, we're going to do one at a time. So we're going to do one spark plug wire and one spark plug at a time. That way I keep 1 on 1, 2 on 2, 3 on 3, 4 on 4, 5 on 5, and 6 on 6. So that's how we're going to have this play. At least that's what I'm going to try to do, but on the back side of the engine, there is a wiring loom that may change my plans, but we're going to start with the easy stuff first, and we're going to start with 2, 4, and 6 and replace those. So let's get started with, this is number 2 to number 2 over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove a wire from the coil pack. Route this down here and try to pull this from here, and there we go. All right, so that's cable number 2. So I went and bought an aftermarket parts from Rock Auto, and the thing about the aftermarket parts, they don't have the coil number listed on there like the OEM did. As you can see, the OEM has 2 on there. So what I'm going to do is compare the length of this wire and find one that matches in my box of 6 right here. One of the tricks I learned by watching other YouTubers was you could take this sleeve off, and I can use this as a tool to help me guide out the spark plug once I've loosened it up. So that's what we're going to do next. So here's the spark plug. I have my 5/8 socket drive with a little bit of a swivel head to let me get better access. So what I'm trying to do is use my spark plug socket adapter and get it around the nut there so I can unscrew it from the engine.
That's a good one.
That's the good one. I might need an anvil too. So I was able to use my fingers to unloosen and remove the spark plugs. No, seriously, the spark plugs were a little bit seized. Even though my dad drove the engine over, it was a hot engine. We still sprayed a little bit of PB Blaster on there. And after referring to a few other YouTube videos, we decided to heat the engine back up again. And I was able to put a little bit more pressure on that, and we've been able to loosen 2, 4, and 6. And as you can see, 6 is out. We'll get these done here on the front side, and then we'll probably run the engine at temperature again, because I have a feeling the same thing is going to happen in the back, because it's been a while since we've had a spark plug change on this vehicle.
More in. There you go.
Okay. So you can see here's our new spark plug that we'll be putting in, and these are the first spark plugs we've been taking out, and you can see there's like no electrode left on that. So right now I'm going to check the spark plug gap on our ones we're installing, and for this application it's going to be 0.050 inches is what the gap should be. We need to make sure that our spark plug gap is 0.50 in inches. So I have my spark plug gauges here. 0.018 plus 0.032 gives me 0.050. And I'm going to check my gauge to make sure the gap is correct. And there it is. So I'm going to do that on all of the spark plugs going forward that I put in. Since we had so much fun taking these spark plugs out of the engine, I'm going to apply a little anti-seize lubricant to the threads of each of the ones that I'm putting back in. This goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Be sure to put it only on the thread and not on the electrode, or you'll have other problems. Now that we've applied anti-seize to the threads, I'm going to go ahead and stick our little tool that we just made and use that to start the threads on the spark plug. I'm tightening the spark plugs in. And the next step is we'll be connecting the cables. Of course, we've already ran the cable for cylinder number 2. We'll have to find matches for cylinders 4 and 6. All right, so we've got the first 3 done on this side. Now to do the back side ones, I'll probably take one off, see if I can get it to move. If I can't, I'll run the engine again to get it up to temperature and then try to take all 3 off all at one time with the hotter engine. And then basically it's the same steps on the back. Figure out which wire, the length of the wire, take the plug out, set the gap for the plug, replace the plug, and then put the appropriate wire in. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on replacing the spark plugs and spark plug wires on the 2010 Grand Caravan. I know it did make a difference in the drivability of that car. Engine sounds a whole lot smoother right now. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Joey Beast channel. My job is over. It's time for you to get back to yours.